They're guys. They do magic. They are the Magic Guys.
Oh, goddamn, what's that? Not our usual schedule, but we're live here for episode 92 of the Magic Guys. Doug, what's going on? You got some friends over there.
Yeah, we had to do a special episode for these shenanigans. Look who's in the house. It's the Magic Syndicate.
Woo! It's really us.
Oh, yeah.
Possible. I guess we should say hi to everyone for those who don't know. Bob, what's up, man? Welcome to the studio. We got AJ Strauss and I'm just calling him Magic Mark.
Magic Mark.
And parts unknown.
What's up, guys?
He has numbers for last name.
Hey, we got Jimmy in the house already. Thanks for jumping on, man. This is so for those listening, yeah. We missed a podcast on our usual schedule last week. Just crazy scheduling at the moment, but these boys are on an even crazier schedule, and we can break it down a bit more. But essentially, as you can see in the title, these three men are going across all 50 states, and they just so happen to coalesce today and be in New Orleans to hang out with Doug. And just so happened, thoroughly planned out.
Almost
I'm sure.
accidental.
And I love the photo of you guys that I saw. Doug's just so bloody gangster standing there. He's like, yeah, sweet. With the three guys next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just let my freak flag fly on that one.
That was great. How's it? How's it been so far in Doug?
It's been a magical whirlwind, and it's been raining the whole time. So we have yet to venture in to do any actual magician for anyone other than ourselves. Although we did get some great short shot. I think we did some good work yesterday, doing a little collab on the short platforms. Everyone had fun.
Those shorts were great. And you got Bob to wear clothes in the video. So you're doing well.
Yeah, that was a barter situation. I won't talk about what I had to give up for that.
But Bob, I can see your big grin. What's it like hanging out with the con?
Honestly, if you knew what he paid me to wear clothes right now, you'd be smiling too. It's fantastic, honestly.
Yeah,
I've had a great time, so I don't care what everyone else thinks. I've had fun.
All right, this has been awesome.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm going to change this house into like a magic hostel, but I'm going to start charging for this experience.
Oh, yeah.
A little costly when you start buying beer and such.
Or maybe it's that you get a certain cut of the busking that's done.
I'm hoping the shorts we shot make me some money, and then we break even maybe for this.
Oh yeah,
hope one of you yahoos go viral today. They're off to a good start. It pleases me that everyone got a decent representation. Well, everywhere except TikTok, of course, because that's stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, those were great, by the way.
Thank you, Josh.
All three.
Everyone showed up.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, where do we start? I mean, everyone that's watching the pod has probably heard mainly of Bob, but...
What is the Magic Syndicate? Let's start there. What do you guys do?
Well, Syndicate Magic is...
You should change the name, first of all.
We honestly, we weren't sure what we really wanted to do right off the bat, but we knew we wanted to do it together. And after a little while, we had the stupid idea of trying to do magic in all 50 states. So we just said, screw it, let's go do it. And AJ and Mark were like dumb enough to join me.
This is the professionalism of the people I hang with. Well, I had this crappy idea, so we got some idiots to join me in this dumbness, and here we are in New Orleans.
That's it. That's the whole story.
And you've been ticking off your scavenger list as you go. What's how far into that have you gotten?
We're only 5 states in, so we've gotten not very far. We're 10%.
It's funny. We're driving around today, and Bob's like, one of my things is to perform magic under sea level. I'm like, well, just go perform in the French Quarter. We're actually under sea level in New Orleans. It's a weird situation where this place could just fill up with water. So yeah, you'll knock that off the scavenger hunt tomorrow.
What are like some of the more weird ones? The ones that are like, crap.
We did that earlier when Bob paid me. Never mind.
My first item that I got was actually my weirdest one. So since I am AJ the Mouse, on my list was find a woman named Kat and run away from her. So we went to Missouri. We were at a music festival. Bob was showing some magic to some people. We were introducing ourselves to some people, and some girl introduces herself as Kat. So Bob and I look at each other. We're just like, oh shit, it already happened. So we got to do a video. It's on our Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff. And it's just a video of me introducing myself. Hi, my name is Mouse. She says, hi, my name is Kat. And then I just turn around and bolt off and run. So that was the first one, and that was a dessert.
I saw that one too. So you didn't know what her name was yet? And is that right? Like you were like going to show her something, but because her name was Kat, you ran away? Or did you already know her name was Kat? And you're like, all right, cool, we should film this.
So we met, and then nobody was filming when I met her. So then we had to like explain what we were doing to her. And then we just kind of like redid the meeting for the first time. But yeah, basically just recreated the thing.
That woman proceeded to spend the rest of the festival pretending to chase him around too.
Yes.
Now she's missing.
Well, the mouse won.
I did. Yep, this time.
God damn.
So these scavenger items were randomly selected by your fan base. Is that what it is? I
Yeah.
love that idea. Yep.
We did kind of curate it slightly. I mean, there were some pretty weird things that people suggested that either A,
I wonder
weren't
why.
legal,
I wonder why.
or B, they just thought it would be really funny to say in the first place. So we got rid of the ones that either weren't like reasonable or feasible at all, or the ones that would get us in a lot of trouble.
I mean, but really, they're the ones that people want to see, Bob.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Good point.
But then I couldn't post those things on Instagram and YouTube. I would only be able to post them on the hub.
On the hub.
Well, that's
Did
true.
you leave OnlyFans? Is that not an option anymore?
Oh, no, it's still an option.
Okay. All right. Just making sure all the bases are
Yeah.
open.
If I can post it on the hub, of course
All
I
right.
can post it on the
Well, then tomorrow we're filming different videos.
Doug's gonna test out the hub and then be like, "Oh, this really gets views."
You're going to
all
pivot
right."
tomorrow.
It's like, "All right, Aaron, we got a new video to make."
What you been
Well,
doing,
that's great.
Josh? What's happening in your world? Why talk about us all the time? You've been busy. I know you were bragging about all the money you're making working these gigs.
Well, that was just in our private chat, but yeah, but thank you.
You, got you did those 2 toddler birthday
let me just
parties. What was that, like 75 each?
and a free slice of birthday cake,
Plus the cake.
and plus, yeah, it was great. Plus the admiration.
What kind of gigs are you doing? What's your work?
Oh, bro, just been for some reason this last 2 weeks has just been mad. I was out in the country last week for like 4 days, and this week there was just like a flurry of how many events did I do? I did 5 events this week, but like 3 of them were all just yesterday, and
That's a big day. 3 in one day. 2 in one day is a big day. 3 is unwieldy.
And what made it more difficult was a really fun gig I did, which I put on my stories, was for this Mexican wrestling event. And
This is my ballpark.
it was sick. It was like, and Bob commented on it, and I was like, you know what? These really are Bob's people. Like, these guys were just super fun out there doing crazy shit.
Wait a minute. You
and-
posted a video with wrestling involved and I haven't seen it?
Well,
The
you
algorithm's broke.
were busy making your
I blame it on the
content.
algorithm.
no, it was just
I am
it was only on my Insta stories, Doug. It wasn't a post. But so
Oh,
basically,
okay.
so I was doing this just a 5-minute halftime act in this wrestling show, but the show itself, because I hung out with all the wrestlers and stuff afterwards, and I got home at like 1 a.m.
What a
but-
great gig.
It was just really fun.
Were you in the
But-
ring?
No, but what I did do is, so they were doing a Magico theme, so they were dressed as magical characters throughout history. So
Were they wrestling like that? It's like
They were
Blackstone
wrestling-
versus Houdini?
no, not like what we would like to see magicians. They had like, someone was a priest, someone was like Jesus, someone
That
was a
sounds
magic
even better, actually. But
someone was a magic taco, which somehow
Jesus
makes
versus
sense.
Buddha.
Yeah, someone dressed up as like the political party of like one of our candidates over here, which was funny just to see like the irony of it. And so I gave them like a magic cane. I like showed them how to use that, and they loved it. They were like, poof.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was just really cool to see.
I was explaining to the fellows, we were watching wrestling earlier today, or more specifically, I was watching it. I'm trying to explain it's our kindred art form. No one wants to listen to me. But I'm sure you understand that after spending time with the brethren.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Using
This
secret
is,
techniques to convince the audience that impossible things are happening with drama.
It was really funny because they were like, I was like, I wonder if this audience is going to even like seeing magic amongst this show. But then it hit me. I'm like, they're all here watching, 10 men dressed up in costumes,
Theater. It's theater.
Exactly. So I wonder if you'll hear this. No, just like weird.
I think magic needs more wrestling in it. And there is one guy doing it. The Shocker, Greg Dow. He does. Have you seen him? He did a Fool Us bit where he's doing magic in the wrestling ring.
Ooh.
Yeah, this guy gives me hope for the future.
Okay. Look, I'll play this clip. This is just a bit of what I was watching from the side of the stage.
Luchadors, I hope.
So this is Jesus versus someone else. I'll give it a second. It should.
Oh, nice. Jesus got skills.
And so, like, you can see the audience just like they're just eating it up, right? And
I am Jesus.
Exactly. And maybe I can, if I quickly just find.
Oh, this is so good, man! I don't know that I've seen character wrestling before.
Really? Yeah. And so there's a bit more going on. Just body slams.
What, like you dress up in characters? That's common. I don't see enough indie wrestling.
Yeah, especially for Mexican, like the Nacho Libre movie styled. This is what that was more based on. They had like a mariachi band playing as well, and
it's so spectacular. Oh yeah, moonsault, boom.
Yeah, so that was just bloody wicked. And then the halftime comes and they bring me on and.
Yeah, what's it like to take that energy and turn it into a magic experience? Ah!
Oh man. Well, the thing is, like, they're already hyped. Like, they're already hyped, and they just want adrenaline. So, like, I have 5 minutes. So I basically did my my backflip routine act. So I just come on, throw fire, bring someone on quickly, do some magic, and then and I remixed my the drum track that I usually do this act to be Mexican. So I added in these Mexican layers of sounds and stuff and do the backflip.
The professionalism you get with Norbito.
I made sure I brought my own headset because they just had handheld mics and stuff and got it all going. And it was great. And so it was just a fast 5 minutes.
Like the best gig ever. 5 minutes in a wrestling arena. Man, I need that gig.
So
I'm curious, this is happening in Australia? It's a troupe of Mexican wrestlers traveling the country? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, so there's an organization called Pro Wrestling Australia over here, and they do a lot of these themed like WWE style wrestling performances. But this particular,
that's not quite WWE style.
No, I know.
It's AWA style. Let's get clear here.
But you know what I mean, like the performing style of wrestling.
Yeah.
But this guy, Victor, who hired me, he is Mexican. He literally just flew from Mexico like a week before this, but he's from Melbourne. And this crew go around doing this Mexican style, really vivid character setup thing. So but what was interesting, so why that made it difficult for yesterday's shows was because I got home at 1 a.m., but then the next show was going to be at 10 a.m. like that morning, but in the Gold Coast, which is like an hour drive. And it was for this Indian cultured event, but it was being held in a church. So like I'd just seen Jesus wrestling, and now I'm actually in a church about to do a show for a very different audience.
Gosh.
Yeah. I love mix my audiences. I love them all the same. So I do this show in the morning, and these kids are like slowly trying to like creep closer and closer on the stage while I'm doing this act, and I'm like, this is wild that no parents are moving these kids, and I keep telling them to move, and get through the act. The show, like the production of the venue and stuff was wonderful. But anyway, so then I finished that show, go home. I have like an hour to decompress, get changed, and then I have to head to this penthouse that were in Brisbane. They had this big thing called the River Fire, where there are fireworks. A fireworks show goes off for like 20 minutes in the city, like on all the bridges and buildings, and
a regular
jets fly
event
over.
or a big...
Yeah, it's an annual event. It's kind of like
I see. Yeah,
it's kind of like a New Year's Eve kind of thing, but they just randomly do one.
All right.
In the middle of the year. So I feel like, I won't say his name, but I performed the organizers of this party are like one of the richest people in Australia. And they hired out this penthouse. They turned it into a fashion show runway party. And they had just the craziest stuff you've ever seen in a tiny penthouse on the top building. Like they can watch the fireworks and everything.
It seems like you just find yourself in all these situations, sir. Yeah, we got off the yacht and went to the penthouse via helicopter.
Yeah.
Of course, that was after they flew us to the wrestling gig.
Yeah. So the thing with this penthouse gig was I was already booked to do a private dinner show that evening, but this event just insisted that I still come. So they wanted me to be at their event first. Then they'll let me take a break so I can go do this other gig in the city, which is about a 20-minute walk away. Do that show. So it's like, it was the second show I had to walk to was a private dinner. They had a room. There's just like 10 people in these seats at this table. So I do that 20-minute dinner show. And then I walk back to the penthouse where now they're all just drunk and going crazy. And, you know, I do like an extra bit of roving there.
Curious, do you prefer them tipsy or not tipsy?
At this penthouse one, tipsy was definitely better because it was just I can't even explain it properly. I felt like I was watching. Have you seen Bling Empire on Netflix?
My wife watches that insanity.
So I felt like in this penthouse, I literally felt like I was in an episode of Bling Empire. Like,
okay, that's
just
bizarre.
the absurdity and awkwardness at the beginning was like, what is happening? Like there were too many. It's
just so weird. Yeah.
Maybe too many rich people in one room. All like it was weird, man. But like any magician, we'll find out. You know, everyone reacts to magic the same at the end of the day. So
yeah, right.
That you know, it's super fun. But yeah. So long story short, I was wrecked by the end of it, and now I'm just glad that I have a day where I can just catch up with you guys and not have to do any performing. But it's been a crazy week. That's for damn sure.
What was this man's name? I have issue here with one of our viewers, David O, who says magic and wrestling don't go together. Now, I clearly talked about the Shocker, who's proved this wrong. But look what we got here. Look at this. Magic and wrestling going together, like peas in a pod, like rice and butter. This magician wrestler had great acclaim in the WWE for a good 2 or 3 weeks before they shit canned this gimmick. But the Shocker, now this guy has talent. But somewhere along the line, Vince McMahon said, yeah, go with that. The wrestling magician. Yes.
I mean, someone's got to do it, right?
Yes.
Someone's got to do it.
But only for 2 or 3 weeks. It's not
it's
not a long-term gig. No one needs this.
No, you can't be like, yeah. I mean, maybe you could do like the floating table and then ended up just, you know, cracking it over someone's
Yeah, it's
head.
like when you're ready to hit someone with a stick, you make it appear and then you hit them with it. You know, it's like, boom, stick. You had it with the cane. I was thinking, boy, they hit someone with one of those canes, you're going to have a lawsuit from a cut.
Well, I made sure that I was the one, you know, where the cutting comes from is when you're trying to reload it, like reset the cane. That's when I've cut my thumb doing that.
Yeah.
So I made sure that anytime they set it off, I went and reset it for them. Like if they were practicing or whatever.
Right.
But they were really clever. What they did was, because they were literally just wearing underwear. So they hid the cane on the referee. And when the
Look, we
guy
learned
was
things. I didn't think
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
yeah, so when the guy was
Secret methods.
That's it. So the
Mhm.
load came in. So one guy was on his knees and like on one knee and just like had his hand on the ref's shoulder, and that's when he was able to get the cane from him, while everyone's watching this other guy, mouthing off and looking at the crowd, and then they
Theater.
set it off. Apparently,
Drama.
they freaking
That's why
loved it.
wrestling's
So
good.
yeah. But that was wild to see that environment. They also another weird thing on my story that I put up was being a Mexican event, they did this tequila thing where they would lay someone down, a wrestler down, put tequila in his belly button, and then these girls that volunteered to come up would they drink the tequila out of the belly button, but it was like a part of the show again. Like everyone was like cheering them on. These girls like yeah, and then of course some guys came up and did it too, which
Were the
just
girls
just
from
as
the
good.
crowd or part of the show?
No man, these were from the crowd. Yeah, from the crowd.
Yeah, wrestling hoes. They're the best.
Yeah. Well, when you get wrestlers like this, well, if it will let me focus, maybe it won't.
Yeah, but
You get
maybe
guys
if you
like
had
this,
wrestlers like
starting
this,
if you get wrestlers like this, warming up the crowd like that, then
sticking their butt out.
yeah, on purpose, like you see that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Yeah. This is the difference between an intimate wrestling show versus the WWE on TV. Because you go to a wrestling theater where it's a little more compact, you get a really saucy experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, yeah, all bets were off with everything.
You guys ever
Nice.
consider wrestling? Mark, you're built for it. You got the look. You could
definitely be a wrestler.
maybe we could do a match and film it.
Oh, hell yeah. That's how you go viral.
No holds barred.
Yeah, is there a main wrestling state in the US?
You know what I'm flashing back is to Saturday Night Live skit. They had Doug Henning versus David Copperfield. You remember this? Have you ever seen this skit? It was Martin Short played Doug Henning, and Harry Shearer played David Copperfield.
Oh my god.
Have you seen it?
Really good.
Oh, it's funny.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's funny. It's
I'm gonna have to
it's
watch
a Saturday Night Live skit from like the 80s.
Oh hell yeah.
Doug Henning starts fucking with David Copperfield. I am the ghost of. It's like, Doug, get off my stage. And then they start fighting with shovels and they're hitting each other's hands. Watch the hands. Watch the hands.
That is what would happen if two magicians started fighting, I reckon.
Well, I mean,
Not the
specifically
fa-
David Copperfield and Doug Henning. You know?
Yeah. Not the face and not the hands. Everywhere
This
else
could
is
be yours,
fine.
Bob.
It's not.
Is that
All right, what
the
else? I
special
feel like
water?
we cut the syndicate short. You guys, we got more syndicate magi you want to talk about?
Pro wrestling, though. We can keep going with that.
Yeah.
Man,
so
that
how-
should be.
what-
Do you have any pro wrestling scavenger lists?
No, but I did get asked to portray a character as a wrestling manager here in the near future, so I'm probably going to
Oh.
take that gig.
You'd be good at that.
Okay. What's the friendship bond? What's the friendship bonding been like through these 5 states? Do you hate each other now, or
Yeah,
do
of
you,
course.
are you closer? Or
Yeah, that was my first question. How do you not hate each other yet? Everyone seemed amicable.
I only hate Mark when he's asleep.
He's a snorer, huh?
Mhm.
The log sawer. Uh-oh, that's an issue.
I just wake him up. I'm like, nah, dude, you're done doing that for
Yeah.
at least 5 minutes.
Uh-oh.
can you imagine?
Sounds like you need
after-
the match, not me.
I do.
Imagine after all 50
No, 'cause I'll
states,
knock
and
him
you're
out,
like,
and then he'll start snoring.
You're not knocking him out.
That was a joke. I
Bob,
would never hurt Mark.
I bet you're a dirty tactic wrestler. Low blow.
Oh no, mouth coil.
yeah. So what like? What are things that like have started happening that you didn't realize would happen, or like things you've been learning as you've been trying to go on this adventure? That's
Fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a weird question because like we weren't expecting anything, honestly. Like we didn't plan very much other than let's just figure it out on the way.
Mhm.
We did start off trying to plan everything thoroughly, and that was way too overwhelming and stressful. So we said, screw it, let's just wing it. And then We learned that it's incredibly expensive to get between towns. We learned that there's a lot of people who really don't care if they break your stuff.
Oh yeah.
We learned there's cool magi willing to shelter us if it gets weird and it's rainy.
Yeah. That was a good learning.
Yeah. And what what about funding wise? Like, are you guys making money as you're traveling, or have you just like saved up and then just been like, let's see how far we get?
We're making exactly enough in each place to get to the next place.
Yeah.
And we're not starving.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
Well,
a
that's-
starving, which is surprising.
Well, that's changing tonight, fellas, because dinner's not being made.
Actually, I won't lie. Normally, when the Magic Guys podcast is on, I'm sitting down eating tacos and enjoying it. So I'm starving just seeing you
Look.
on the screen.
Listen to this liar. Normally, the Magic Guys is at 7, and we're filming at 6:30. It's clearly half an hour before dinner, and we're gonna eat when we're done. Bob, Jesus.
Yeah. You'll get your damn tacos. No, what's
AJ's
on the menu?
flush.
What's on the menu tonight? Is it tacos?
It is tacos.
It's tacos.
Yeah,
we're
sick.
making tacos.
That's what we thought.
Tacos again.
You know, you say that you make just enough to get you to the next state. Have you considered making twice as much as you need to get to the next state? And then by the end, I feel like you could, you know, have a big wad of
Well,
cash.
It did come up once, but honestly, we decided that was a stupid idea, honestly.
So let me be the voice of reason here. When they make decisions to go to a city like Lafayette, Louisiana, which is fine, but it's not exactly the big metropolis. You need to bankroll some bucks. So
It's true.
we're learning that when we go to places, they need to be metropolis tourist spots so we can bankroll. And we're going to do that tomorrow and maybe Monday in the French
Yeah.
Quarter.
Yeah, show them how it's done, Doug.
We got to see that spot that Doug's in his TikToks in. Well, not counting this one, but the other one where he's outside.
Do you get to see the famous bench that he fell off? Are you
Yep.
taking him to
No,
that?
that was
That was in Colorado.
That was Colorado. But we
Ah.
we walked
We'll
the
go
French
there
Quarter.
too.
We walked
Yep.
and smelled the smells and looked at the things. And
Yeah.
tomorrow the road meets the metal. Yeah,
Wow.
I haven't street performed in about 6 months, so it'll be interesting for me to get back out to the wild.
And is Jimmy out there at the moment too?
He's in Texas. He's talking
Oh,
about
that's right,
coming
that's
in.
right.
Thank God
Yeah.
he didn't. I'm full here. I got a house
Yeah.
full.
You got enough.
I'd cuddle with Jimmy.
Well,
He's not
you
gay
may get your
anymore.
wish.
Oh, well. Me either.
Anymore? Is there a film?
But you know, when funds get thin,
Yeah, right. There's always the 800 block of Bourbon Street.
I'm gonna open every show with a mouth coil too, so that will be a valuable option for me later on. They'll see me with the mouth coil and be like, "That guy's got throat game." So I'm making money one way or another.
This is a good segue. Yep.
Bob's
Yeah.
really good at it, so I've heard.
well,
Yeah.
one person do the mouth coil, one person do like, I don't know, nail in nose or something, and then one person do balloon swallow, and you've got the.
It's an
the
interesting
trifecta.
weekend in New Orleans, Labor Day weekend. It's Decadence Week, where our LGBTQ community, I don't know all the initials, but the open-minded congress in New Orleans to celebrate their freedoms.
which kind of sucks because my outfit won't stand out.
Yeah, red sequins are not enough
yeah.
this time of year.
Yeah. You just need more.
You know,
You need
actually, I've
more
seen that coat.
sequins.
It's enough.
Okay.
It's enough.
I was gonna say Mark and I might stand out pretty well, actually.
Yeah, so yeah.
Looking very normal.
You are not homosexual enough.
Thankfully, I've got big gay energy, so I'm gonna fit right in.
I'm just gonna stay close to Bob.
That's what they said, Bob. Well, that was just a joke for me, right? So, Mark, with the top hat, because it looks great and it suits you, but the public, are you wearing this just in your everyday? Is this your everyday hat?
Yep. Every
I
day.
love that. What does it get any remarks like, oh, I love the hat, or what's in the hat?
Everyone asks me if I could pull something out of it, and I gotta disappoint them, which is kind of sad, but it's
Okay,
still fun.
tell us. Surely you've thought of like something that you do when they say that, like.
Usually
Is
just
there-
points at me.
Hey, he pulls things out of his head.
No, but I keep a bird in there.
Yeah.
Look,
Bro,
you got
that-
the sponge bunnies. That's what I do when they ask. Just pull a sponge. Well, that's a good bit. But just palm the sponge bunny and pull it out of there. Everyone laughs and boom, you get a bit. And then segue into the sponge bunnies if you're feeling magic-y.
True. I'm doing that now. Or the bird. The birds.
There you go. Those are both gooder options.
Well, you could keep the latex dove in there. That could be funny. Yeah. That's got to be a thing. That's got to be a thing.
I like to pull money out of it if you like to put some in there.
Yeah.
That is a great busking hat, right? I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
you know what I'd be worried about is the heat of that thing. That is
Actually,
it's not bad, huh?
It's been better with this than regular hats.
Let me hear you say that tomorrow in 90 degrees in New Orleans humidity and see how that thing's going to be 3 inches high by the end of the day. It's going to melt.
We did Arkansas humidity at 108, and he wore it all.
Whoa. Okay. You'll be fine.
And
Is it
actually-
humid? Is
Wow.
it humid? Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
It's really bad here.
Surely you can
It's about
sneak an
the
ice.
same.
Surely you can just sneak an ice pack in there if you're in hot weather.
I have done that. I have used cooling gel packs mainly. Around the neck area. They're commonplace here. You put them in the freezer, chill them up, and then when you go out, you wrap them around, and it keeps your neck cool, so the blood cools as it goes past it. It's a real thing. And if you're out in 100-degree weather for extended time, it makes a difference.
And I reckon if you're busking, Mark, I can just see already, because the hat is a stand-up piece. Like, I'm sure everyone would love it if you're doing your act and like every prop you need, you're like, oh, hang on a sec, I need my scissors. They just come out of the hat. Oh, I need my rope. Oh yeah, rope. Yeah.
Yep.
You don't have a Sharpie. Oh, I got a Sharpie. And then you could like go with something obscure that you make come up in
Get one of these.
conversation.
One of these big 4-foot straws pull that out of there.
Yeah. And then you're like,
I just bought one of these because I had to. I have
then
to
you're
have
like-
the 4-foot straw. It's in preset mode, of course.
Do you have the ladder?
and then after you pull out the after you.
You gotta have a ladder because you want to get high.
Yeah, you can get really high on a ladder.
That's
I
funny
bought the
too.
4-footer just so I could present it on video, actually. It's not too big, right? It's manageable for a video screen. If this was the 8-foot or the ladder, I can't use this here.
Yeah.
But I can use this for video, and
Yeah.
this is not for stage. So that's the name of that tune.
And then once you pull out this giant straw, you can
Then we
look at
open the
guy-
bag and start snorting.
Whoa.
We'll use the 8-ball from the top cover.
Now Josh has to edit the podcast.
You're gonna need for that kind of straw. You're gonna need like a sandpit. That's what you're gonna need.
How do you do it?
What I was going to say was, you look at a guy and you'd be like, "Oh man, you look like you're thirsty," and then you pull out just like a tiny shot out of the top hat, or something like that. Something that ironically couldn't be drinking with that magic straw, that giant straw.
There's your professional advice.
I'm
Yeah.
doing all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the shot glass.
You get,
should
there's a
definitely
nice
happen.
gimmick that holds a shot. You just put a balloon top over it, or they make some plastic things that can stick on there. Do I have one of them hanging around?
Yeah.
Of course
I mean,
do, but I'm
I
not
wasn't
gonna
gonna
grab
say it. I wasn't gonna say it out loud on the pod, but now that you've said it, yeah, just
Oh,
do
yeah,
that.
you don't talk about methods.
No, I mean, who taught me? Sam Angelico taught me. You tie a balloon and then you just cut it off after the knot, and then you just use that lip part to go over the top.
Yeah, you can just cut the top of it off. Delve into the bag of plenty and see if I have this thing in here.
Yeah,
These are the discards.
and then basically all you do is, when you're grabbing the shot glass, your thumb pushes down and the balloon just latches onto your thumb instead, and then you can bring out the glass.
Yeah, I don't know. Thanks, Bob. That was worthless.
And then I think
there's an act called the D-Land Thimble Act, and this thimble act includes a shot glass, and it includes a rubber stopper that has a tab that's on the end of it. So instead of having a balloon that you have to seal up, it's a solid piece of rubber that just sticks in there and has a tab, which makes the removal easy.
Yeah. I know Steve Cohen does a shot production, and he always does this motion. So I think he actually has a cap that goes on top of it, because with the silk over the top, he always goes like this. And when I saw it live, I heard like a little,
Yeah.
yeah. And there's got to be stuff out there, but you know, quick easy option, just use the balloon top. But
Yep. I
Yeah, I
think
can
that's what
see that.
Eugene used. He did the production from a paper bag.
Mm.
Burger. Eugene Burger.
Or what if you? I'm so curious now. There's a routine Scott Alexander has where you have the cup, right? You pour the liquid into your hat, and then you put the empty cup into the hat and scoop up the liquid again, and you show your hat empty.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. So many possibilities. Stuff I have to look forward to when I'm just eventually fully bald and committing to the hat full time. So there's that.
Somehow I missed that note. I do 0 hat magic. You know?
Yeah, but I think we talked about this once before. That's because you said like you're a sweater. And
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
your
right.
hat's never.
When I pull my hat off out
Ideal.
there, I get drenched. It just
Yeah.
comes down it's like a small waterfall caressing over the.
See, when I take off my top hat, I've got another hat on under there.
Mm.
So maybe you should just start wearing 2 hats.
I have 2 hats actually. I bring a tipping hat. You guys got everything out of order here because there's too many bodies in this room. I don't know where anything is, but I bring a collapsible top hat out when I busk. This hat is a receptacle for things that I use in the act that go in there, ropes and things. And then at the end, I use it to hat the audience. So, yeah.
Oh, the top hat would be up top.
Yeah.
I found it.
One of them.
Nice. I had
Do
something
you
in mind
ever
to say.
work for tips out there, Josh, or when you go outside, you just film? You don't need that money, so you don't care about that, huh?
Yeah, no, I film. I give out. I have these little social cards made, so it's they're my goodness.
Same way. Yep.
Yeah,
I love that.
I just
God,
give
why
out
don't I
these,
have
these
that
little
yet?
things.
Why don't I have that yet?
I sent you the design. I'm sure I made it for you and sent you the design for it on Canva, but
God,
that was
so
a while back.
unprofessional.
Anyway,
you did.
so
I'm
yeah,
writing
man.
it down, Josh, and then I'll
All
forget it again.
So yeah, I give these bad boys out because everyone. So I'll go up with another magician and we'll take turns at filming. And it's funny because after every performance, they go, "Oh, where can we find the video?" And I can just go boom, 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 boom. Whereas my friend Pasha has to be like, "Oh, okay, go on your phone, type in, PASH, da 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 da." It takes a while, but these just save so much time, and people definitely find it. But yeah, when I'm out there, it's just for content, and it's just for my own pleasure of trying stuff out, and keeping my
I'll tell
ear
you
to the
something I've
streets.
considered. I found a company that does back printing for stickers. So you can put any printing you want on that, which means after they peel the sticker off, now they have your information here, right? This for me, I think is a good option for busking so that they have something tangible to take away from their gratuity instead of just giving. You could say, hey, if you tip, grab a sticker. And now after they got the sticker, well, now they have conjure.com, dougcon.com, and all the social media sites as well.
Nice. That's really nice. For a little while, I had a sheet of stickers that I would put on like the signed card that they keep at the end of the trick.
That's
so you just
nice.
put it on the back of the card, but because it saves you having to like write your name on it, or sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, can you sign it too?" And I think I just stopped because I just found it a little unorganic to be like, "Well, before you keep that card, let me."
Yeah.
There you go. But in theory, it sounds like if I was busking, I'd probably do it more.
What I would do if I was busking with that card is put the QR codes for Venmo and PayPal on those things. And
that is where the gold would be for that.
Do you have
100%.
a website on your card, or is it just social media?
Yeah, so it has my email, website, and socials.
Yeah.
When I first had it made, I only put the socials on there.
Mm-hmm.
And the thinking was, because my normal business card has my phone number, and I just didn't want on the street to be just giving out my phone number every single time. Because we're performing for teenagers and all different demographics. So I like, what I really want them to do is follow me on the socials, see the video. So this has everything except for my phone number, and just particularly enhances the social media platforms. But very inexpensive. I just made these myself on Canva. I just buy them in a batch of 100 at a time.
Okay.
Canva
You buy
deliver
them
too,
through Canva?
Yeah,
Okay.
they deliver. So you order it, and then you can download it, and then go to your normal Vistaprint or whatever provider you use. But it's cool. Yeah, I made a bunch for Jason too, and the funny thing with Jason is he'll forget them, but then when he does remember them, he like brings the actual package that they were shipped in. So he like opens up this brown box and is like, "Yep, let me get one out for you." And one for you and one for you, and he keeps the whole thing instead of just grabbing like 20 of them and shoving them in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It's he's like doing this. He's like, oh
Yeah,
let
right.
me give
That's
you
weird.
let
That's
me
also
give you a
heavy.
card.
It's another 5 pounds to carry around.
Yeah, for sure. Weird. He's carrying enough already. Oh shit. Anyway.
Bye, Jimmy.
Nah, Jason's been trimming up a lot since he's been on the ships. He's been telling me.
That's surprising. You'd think that you go there to get fatter. All the food on the ship.
It's bizarre. It is bizarre. He said he's had a personal trainer and he's been not drinking while on the ship. And
Good for him.
He's
Making
doing
the
all
best of a situation that could not be that, maybe, if you take other paths.
Yeah. And hopefully he'll be bloody back on this podcast soon. He said this is the last month. So don't you laugh that hard, Doug.
Episode 100. Jason makes his return.
Yep. And he's just on his phone. He's not even in his studio.
Let's quit at 99. Let's book him and then just shut this thing down at 99.
Can you imagine? I don't think my brain would let me stop at 99.
Right.
I could, not that I want to, but I could be okay with stopping at 100. Because all good things come to an end at some point, but not 99. Oh my god.
What about 98?
98. Well, at least it's
We're
an
not
even
done here.
number.
Maybe after this train wreck, 93 is the number.
Yeah. Well, this is at least an even number, 92. So 92 is okay, but not 99. I mean,
You heard it here first. Last podcast.
yeah. Because of what Bob's going to perform later will definitely get us shut down. So we may as well go out with a bang, right?
Yes, indeed.
We all will, actually.
That would, that would be a funny way to try to end the series of something is we're just going to do crass, brutal things.
See what it takes to get canceled.
Yeah, make it cancel us.
I like this plan a lot.
Yeah. A few people have been getting canceled on social media in the last couple of weeks. I don't know if you guys
do tell. Who's
follow
been
many.
getting the can?
So not magicians, but number one is this, global phenomenon of Andrew Tate that has been
Of what? What do I
So
not
he's
know
n-
this?
Okay, his name is Andrew Tate. We might get cancelled even just for talking about this segment, but anyway, he's been on lots of podcasts, and he has very interesting outlooks and opinions on life and masculinity and the role that women play in his life and all this kind of stuff. And anyway, he had in just a few months, he ended up having millions of followers on all the platforms. He started his own academy where he taught men to be men, I guess. I don't really know what his academy was. Anyway, social media, canceled every account he has. YouTube,
Whoa.
Instagram, Facebook, he's gone.
Wow.
And so now he has to go to some, offshore platform that can host its own stuff and can't be canceled. And then the second guy is a guy that I've loved following, that's part of the Nelk Boys, called Steve Will Do It, that I've mentioned a couple of times on the podcast every now and then.
Yeah, I think you. Yeah.
It is great.
You know his stuff?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's like a combination of crazy college drinking vibes mixed with philanthropy, with giving out tons of money, helping people's lives. My favorite, one of my favorite clips that was only a month or two back was he gave these children living with cancer the best experiences of their lives and took them to do all this crazy stuff, buy all these clothes, go to all these awesome places. But the best thing was that he treated them like the little shits they were. Like he was like he just treated them like every other mate that he would hang out with. He's like giving them crap. They're giving him crap.
Love it.
It's like the best thing ever to see. And I hope I hope this doesn't come across the wrong way, but like he even got one of them to give him shit and be like, "What? You're not going to buy them for us? But she might die." Like one of the girls saying to their friend, like they're all living with cancer, and they say it in a way that like is funny because they're the ones saying it, and they're like, "What?" Like you have to watch it, which you can't now because it's cancelled. But like, anyway, it was just really great to see. Like he just treats them like just normal, as if they're adults, and you can really see they love it, and the parents love it, and like. It's great.
It's interesting that you would get canceled across multiple platforms for like like if you get canceled on YouTube, Instagram goes, "Oh yeah, we're on board too." Is that what happened?
I don't know with the Andrew Tate one, but with Steve Will Do It's one, it's his YouTube account that got shut down.
Yeah, okay. Then.
And it was really bizarre because that's where he makes all his income, and obviously that's where all his videos are.
Yeah.
But he was just on a podcast and he was explaining that YouTube didn't use the excuse of his content being too far out there, because it is far out there. They said, because you have a second channel that promotes gambling, which you're allowed to do, the reason they said they canceled him was because on the screen that where you're showing the gambling, you didn't blur out the web address. They're like, you can say the name, but you can't say like the web address. So like I could say Doug Con, but I can't say dougcon.com because that's like promoting gambling too much. Anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So it was like this really fine line rule that
I've wondered about that because as a poker player, I play online. I've thought about sharing a little content maybe now and again, maybe record a tournament I play or something like that. But I'm really unaware of the rules for showing gambling on YouTube. I know people have done it.
Yeah, well, I think it's also because it's a sponsored video. So I think it's called Roobet or something like that.
All right.
And so he can say, "Hey guys, I'm on Roobet," but he can't say what the physical web address is.
Yeah, all right.
And then because he has used his main channel to promote his second channel, they were able to use that excuse as the link to now cancel the main channel as well. Like he doesn't mention gambling on the main channel, but because he's mentioned the second channel, it's like, it's so stupid, but
That's got to be a rough road to hoe, man, especially if you're doing well, then all of a sudden YouTube's like, pull the plug.
Yeah. But in my experience, when platforms cancel you, it only makes people want to see your stuff even more. Like in the past when I've seen creators do that. Yeah, if you got a good following
going.
Yeah.
I'm over here diversifying, so if anything falls out, I'm ready to, have a safety blanket.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Then you can just make the Conjure Academy and everyone will just follow you there.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's the classic story of my buddy Vinh Giang, who eventually I'll get him on the podcast, but the way he began his keynote career, in the short summary of it, is he had a YouTube channel, taught magic tutorials. Magic community didn't like it, started threatening him, but his community loved him. So he built a web a platform where you can pay to get in. So now there's a barrier to entry. 2,000 people signed up for $10 a month because they wanted to learn from him and support him.
Maybe.
And he couldn't have thanked the magic community more for pushing him away from YouTube. Then he wins Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Keynote career starts. $1 million a year speaking. So
Young Entrepreneur of the Year from a magic endeavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. All of a sudden you're making 20 grand a month and you figure it out, I guess, what to do with that power.
Yes. This is my plan. I have everything except the professionalism.
You don't need that.
I also, my goal is only 10,000 a month. So I only need to be half professional. So there's hope for me.
Gotcha. Hey, we can achieve that. That's
I think so. It's a reasonable goal.
yeah. I mean, now these days though, do you even need another platform, or is the YouTube memberships area like?
So
does that
YouTube
suffice?
is like, as far as income, in the middle. The Facebook's paying me the most, and then when I think of things that are paying me the most and that will vanish, I think of Facebook. You know, like I can't imagine their little shenanigans where they steal all the best ideas and run with them for a year or two, then steal the next thing is going to provide any longevity. I
Yeah.
hope that YouTube long form will, but it's going to take a few years. So, I think it's important if you're going to be a social media person too. You got to keep an eye out to what's the next thing, because there's always the next thing. And
Always.
then Facebook will steal it, and you can make money off that for a couple months.
Yeah. I mean, I just watched the clip super fast this morning, and Gary V's like, eventually Instagram will be MySpace.
Yeah, it sounds like you were listening to the same thing I was. Think Media, their interview with him.
I think, yeah, it probably was.
Have you heard of Vero?
Vero.
So
No.
people like Peter McKinnon, Chris Ramsey, they're all starting to preach about Vero now because it's basically like older Instagram where everything's in chronological order. You're seeing who you follow instead of just seeing random posts. And so,
Yeah,
like,
Peter McKinnon was on the socials bitching about Instagram last week. Yep.
And now he's just promoting Vero.
It's true, Instagram's a shit show
Yep.
compared to what it used to be. Pivoting from photographs to TikTok.
Yeah, Peter
It
McKinnon's
basically-
been posting on
yeah.
there. Chris Ramsey's been posting on there. Daniel Madison recently got on
Oh,
there.
alrighty. Vero.
Wes Parker recently got on there. So
Wow. As in Vero?
yeah.
Vero. Okay. Interesting.
So it might be safe to have just in case it takes off.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that Gary Vee said when he's talking about, your Facebook's going to be the next MySpace. He also mentioned how much it sucks to start a new one. Like he was saying, well, I was killing Twitter, and then Instagram comes along, and now I got to grow Instagram, and then TikTok comes along. But guess what? If you're doing that, it's part of the job. And Vero might be looked at tomorrow.
Interesting. There's always going to be something, but I mean, the content, you're always making content. So I guess what changes is where you post it, and maybe a couple of subtleties for that platform. But I'm sure it won't phase you too much, Doug. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see.
You know what I always wondered is
I feel like I never have any, I never feel like I have a grasp on anything, but that's been my life. So, I just keep riding the wave.
I wonder what happens in like 100 years when like we all have all this content, but we're gone, but like our lives are still existing in these videos and stuff. Someone suggested like, I wonder if like on your tombstone, you could have like a thing where you plug in a USB and you can like watch like this person's life.
Yeah,
or,
but
something crazy.
now you're suggesting things 100 years from now are going to be relevant, like videos. It's going to be all virtual reality and probably brain waves. We're just going to imagine,
USBs would be obsolete.
I wonder what were people doing 100 years ago to share.
Well,
there wasn't even TV. There wasn't.
Yeah.
Was it radio?
Yeah, true. I
It's
don't know. I mean, things have changed a lot in 100 years, but yeah. Who knows?
Let's listen to the radio and talk about George Orwell in 1984.
Yeah. But imagine if you could, if there was a way to still watch like Abraham Lincoln's video diaries or something,
So good
That'd be
point.
interesting. Yeah.
Are my TikToks that important? Probably not.
Maybe one day.
Here's
when,
one thing
when,
Gary
like,
Vee was preaching about, the NFT, right? And he's like, this is an important thing. Is it? He thinks so. We don't know for sure. But he indicated YouTube is interested in them.
in NFTs.
Yep. And developing them as part of their, platform.
Interesting. Well, I think it's the technology that Gary loves, like the fact that it can be linked to a membership or access to stuff, and then every time an NFT is sold, you as a creator will always get a percentage of it each time. Like,
So
I think
yeah,
it's
that's his.
that technology.
He's saying they have purpose beyond things
Mm.
we don't even realize yet, and that
Yeah.
big business is going that direction in a big way.
Yeah. It's like if you're one of the owners of the Conjure.com NFT, then you get access to the Conjure Festival every year because you're one of 100 NFT members. But if you sell your membership, you can do that, but Doug will still make 10% of that sale. And so you'll forever, have that ecosystem.
And that occurs. And if you put something out with some exclusivity, the value increases and yada, yada.
Yeah. And then it might be worth $1 million. Someone will sell it to make themselves $1 million. You'll get 100K. And that, that just keeps rolling. And
I'm going to start doing that instead of Magic now.
yeah.
I'm just going to do NFT trading.
Yeah.
And nice seeing
wow.
you. Bye.
That's it. You got to create them. That's the key. Yeah. Yeah, it's insane. So look, let's bring this full circle here in our last 5 minutes. What is the next couple of? Are you doing all 50? Are you just going to keep doing all 50 until you burn out or have to stop, or are you just doing like?
I have a theory they're not
leaving.
leaving New Orleans, but we'll see.
Mm. Well, that's-
to get booked for Tuesday to go back home because I have to go home. So
AJ's going home for sure for a little while. I'm actually going to go back to Arkansas for a little bit soon too. I have a couple gigs to do and a wedding to attend. So
Ooh,
there's a
nice.
couple little things for me to do, and I'll make more money when I go home.
So it will not be one tour of the country till
Right.
they're all.
Maybe go out for a month or so, take a break, go out for a month or so. That's kind of what it seems like.
That's awesome. Just
Unless
do that.
we're making killer money, and then we'll just keep going. So,
Yeah,
depending on how much money I make on tomorrow and Monday, I might not have any gigs to do in Arkansas. Like they might get canceled, and I might not be friends with those guys that are getting married. But
Oh, geez. And where can people follow this journey of yours?
mostly on TikTok and Instagram right now. We're not really doing too well at keeping up with the YouTube part yet, but we're trying to piece together some longer form content to put up there and kind of like capture several states at once to make little episodes of the journey.
Because as hard as that is, that's where like the people can really cling on to watch the journey, right? Like Doug can attest to that. As hard as it goddamn is. I mean, you guys are lucky. There's 3 of you, so you can take turns with the camera filming one another. It's not like one person trying to vlog Casey Neistat style.
Exactly.
But then obviously you got to find time to edit and.
We were speaking about that earlier. That's on your list, AJ, right? You got footage. Yeah. I mean, it's I agree. Like it would be ideal. I think you guys film this stuff on the road, get it up, and just keep banging it out, and it's going to gain the traction to make this thing snowball.
Yeah, like I think
posting it a month or two post. It's okay, maybe when you're getting started, but moving on down the line, I think maybe a little more current content's cool.
Absolutely. And if you've got if you've got that Venmo link, like if you want to support the challenge, here's the thing.
I mean, you are posting on social media short forms. You're doing TikToks and Instagrams as you go, and
like I am seeing them. I'm seeing them all. But yeah, it'd be cool if there was the one place.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, here's the little vlog from this state, and here's the little one from this state. Here's an interesting fact about this place.
Yes, we do.
And it's Syndicate Magic.
Yes, sir.
I got it right.
You did it. You did the thing.
Nice.
Syndicate Magic on YouTube, and hopefully that's blossoming within the next few months or maybe a year. Takes a little while to build it up, make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, while, take this opportunity to learn from Doug how he's able to edit these videos, whether it's on
I'm
his
charging
phone or
them.
his iPad.
They're doing that. It's a per hour event.
That's what I expect, nothing less. But, use that
That's
time
going to be
wisely.
32 cents for today.
There's a button in here.
I'll take the button. 32 cents and a button.
The button counts. Yeah, nice. Nice.
All right, you guys can stay till Wednesday.
You're locked in. Yeah, how long are you? Is that how long you're planning to be in New Orleans for?
How long did I plan for them to be here?
No, well,
Yesterday.
not
No, I figured it'd be a few days.
Yeah,
Honestly, we came to New Orleans knowing we went to Lafayette because I had a friend that lived there. We wanted to have fun and enjoy some of the culture and stuff at a place where we could be very, very cheap to exist. And then we had the intention of coming here to make a bunch of money, but we've been rained out so far, so we haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah.
But
You'll get
realistically, it's make enough money to get to the next spot and bounce.
So
Okay.
ask us tomorrow. We'll tell you what's up.
Okay. Yeah, unless tomorrow goes really well, you'll be like, okay, yeah.
Look,
Honestly,
guys.
if tomorrow goes really well, we might not leave until Tuesday when AJ leaves.
So we're in New Orleans, one of the hardest cities to work in the world. It's not going to go well. Sorry, guys. It's brutal here. We're going to make some money. You're going to be done by the end of the day. You'll
Well,
be
with
like,
that
I'm ready for home. This was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. That's how you're going to feel tomorrow.
That's the enthusiasm we want to hear. I
Look,
love it.
brutal honesty is what you get in the Khan household. New Orleans is insanely difficult for buskers. You come here, you suffer, you figure it out, you get good, and then you go make money elsewhere. But you don't come here as a novice and expect to get wealthy quickly. There is money to be made, and it's challenging. We'll make some tomorrow, just not buckets.
Okay. So, we have our next podcast on Monday, New Orleans time. So maybe, Doug, you can give us the spiel, the debrief of how that went.
Maybe I'll make a lot and run away with them. Maybe I won't be here, Joshua.
Okay. And it'll just be Aaron running the game after that, running your socials and your videos.
Yep, I'm done.
All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. These guys are going to go
That is on Monday anyway, so.
Yeah, number 93.
93. Yeah. All right. These guys are going to go get some tacos. Syndicate Magic. I'll put the links down below so you can follow their journey, support the boys. And anything you guys want to add before we end this cast?
Yeah,
Thanks for listening. It's time for us to disappear now. But we'll see you again on the next episode of The Magic Guys.